10-year-old Lily pressed her face against the cold glass of the animal shelter, her breath fogging up the pain. A shiver ran down her spine, but it wasn't from the January cold. It was from a memory that had haunted her for 5 years. The day her dog, Scout, had disappeared. He was a small, scruffy mutt with a heart as big as his floppy ears. He had gotten out of the backyard one afternoon, and despite weeks of searching, he was never found. Lily's parents, in a misguided attempt to help her heal, had brought her here today to choose a new pet. But all she saw in every cage was the ghost of her missing friend. Suddenly, a door in the back opened, and a large German shepherd strode into the hallway, his posture proud, his gait purposeful. A tall, serious-looking police officer followed, his hand resting gently on the dog's head. The dog's fur was a beautiful mix of black and tan, and his eyes were a warm, intelligent brown. He wasn't Scout, not even close, but something about him felt familiar. The officer knelt down and ran a hand over the dog's back. "Good boy, Max. You're doing great." Lily watched, mesmerized. The dog, Max, looked over and his ears perked up. He took a few steps toward the glass, his tail giving a single, slow wag. Lily felt a pull, a strange connection that she couldn't explain. She reached out and touched the glass, right where Max's nose was. "He likes you," the officer said, noticing her. "Max is a police dog. We're just here for a checkup." "What kind of police dog?" Lily asked, her voice a whisper. "He's a search and rescue dog," the officer replied, his stern face softening into a smile. "He's found a lot of missing people." "He's a hero," Lily's heart fluttered. "What if I told you he looks like my old dog?" The officer chuckled. "Lots of dogs look alike, kid." Lily shook her head. "No, it's not just how he looks. It's the way he tilts his head, and the little white star on his chest. My dog had one just like that." The officer looked at Max, then back at Lily, a flicker of something unreadable in his eyes. "What was your dog's name?" "Scout," Lily said, her voice catching in her throat. "He ran away 5 years ago." The officer stood up and walked over to a clipboard on the wall. He scribbled something down, then turned to her. "What's your last name, honey?" Lily told him, and a moment later, he was on his phone. Lily's parents came over, curious, and she could hear her dad's muffled voice in the background, talking to someone on the phone. The officer ended the call and knelt down to Lily's level. "Lily," he began, his voice surprisingly gentle. "My dog, Max. He wasn't born a police dog. He was rescued by the force 5 years ago. He was found wandering in the woods. When he was brought in, he was a little guy, a real mutt, but he was smart. The rescue shelter named him Max, and we trained him, but we always wondered about his past. He never responded to Max. We always used our hands to guide him. He was a natural at search and rescue, like he was born to find people." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "He was looking for me," she whispered, a sob escaping her lips. The officer nodded. "Yes, he was." He looked at Max, a silent conversation passing between them. "His original owners, your family, never registered his chip." Max trotted over, his tail now wagging furiously. He gently licked Lily's hand, a low, happy whine coming from his chest. The officer stood. "Max is a hero now, Lily. He's retired from the force and he needs a home. He's found his family, but we can't let him go. We've been a team for years. My partner and I, we're a family." Lily's mom and dad nodded in understanding, a silent exchange of grief and joy. Lily, however, looked at the officer and at Max, and her little heart understood something profound. Scout, her lost dog, had found his purpose. He had been so busy saving people that he had forgotten to come home. He had become a hero. "He's a hero, Mom," Lily said, her voice filled with pride. "He can't come home. He has a new family and he has a job to do. But I'm going to work with police officers and become a hero too." The officer smiled, a genuine, joyful smile that lit up his entire face. "I think you'd be a wonderful hero, Lily. You've already found one, and he found you."